The old ways of marketing just aren't working anymore. We're seeing that time and time again. Buyers have changed the way that they want to buy. There's been a massive shift in the power. We now live in a buyer's market where the power is constantly in our hands. And that entire shift in marketing means that a lot of businesses are being left behind. So at Automation Ninjas, we specialize in buyer psychology and marketing automation. What that really means is we help businesses understand why their customers do what they do. It's all behavioral psychology. We help businesses understand that and then plan for it with their marketing automation. So we use marketing automation platforms like Infusionsoft. We're Infusionsoft certified partners and consultants, so we specialize in using that specific piece of software. And we combine the two of those, helping businesses create marketing that is geared towards their customers. We find that this approach is way better for the business and for the customer because it leads to higher return on investment. It leads to much happier customers and way less time wasted because of the automation aspect. As you can probably tell from my accent, I'm not from the UK and I'm certainly not from the US. And no, I'm not from Australia either, or New Zealand. I'm from South Africa. I don't live there anymore, but the influence of growing up and certainly living in that country really showed me how raw humanity can be. And I was very determined to work in an aspect of law enforcement. And so what I did was I geared myself up for a career in either forensic pathology or forensic psychology. I did quite a lot of job shadowing, both in the South African police force and in the Cape Town morgue service at that point in time. And so I came at it from an aspect of wanting to fix things, and I very quickly realized, being in that kind of environment, you can't fix things from mopping it up because, when you're working in the justice system, you're working in the back end. You're kind of mopping up the mess that's already been created. Whilst I was applying to study in various universities, I was actually approached by the British police force, who were looking to take sort of promising students from other countries and place them in the police force in the UK. I accepted that placement and I moved over to the UK, left my life in South Africa behind. I knew that I could make that positive difference and I was really excited for that. What the British police force didn't tell me was that I would actually have to live here for 5 years first before I could get that placement. So there was a little bit, I don't know if they did a bit of a bait and switch or if there was just a bit of miscommunication between departments, but I kind of ended up without a job and without the funds that I needed to kind of study at uni. That left me in quite an interesting position, and so I did what most students do, loads of odd jobs to pay my way through uni. And those odd jobs led me to kind of doing some personal assistant work with a company that was busy implementing some marketing automation software, Infusionsoft. And that kind of got me interested in it. When I moved on from that company, I actually moved into a company that specialized in marketing automation. When I was in that company, it clicked. It just totally made sense. It fit with the logical side of my brain. I really got how the system worked. And that was over 6 years ago now. I've been an Infusionsoft certified partner for most of those years, and I haven't looked back since then, really. What I really like about Infusionsoft is the if this, then that capability. And that really means that if someone displays a certain type of behavior, like they opt in for something, then we can do something specific. But it also means that if someone doesn't do something, we can do something else. So if someone engages in a certain way with some emails, we can track for that behavior and we can trigger different automation based on that behavior. So if someone clicks in an email, we can send them a different email series. If someone doesn't click in an email, we can do something different with them. And that kind of capability suddenly gives you this massive amount of processes that you can create, these amazing customer journeys that you can create. And I build massive flowcharts based off of that, and that is really exciting. And that's really, that logicalness really grabbed me into Infusionsoft. And at that time, I was studying forensic psychology at university, but I could see that there were bigger implications down the line. None of this marketing was being created with the customer behavior in mind, and I built up this team around me. My husband was part of that team by that point in time, and we had another lovely lady working for us who is now a ninja called Mel. And we had this really close-knit team that was determined to work at the deeper problems. For example, one of these problems that we could see with this kind of disconnect between the behavior of the customer or the prospect and the way that the marketing was created is perfectly exemplified by what we call marketing gurus. So the latest guru would go, I've created this course and it's generated me X amount of money, or I have generated X amount of money through a webinar. Businesses get excited by this because it might solve something that they want. They want more cash flow, and this looks like a really good way to do it. And that's how it's sold to them. And so what a business would then do is they'd come to us at that point in time and go, I want a webinar. I want an automated webinar because this guru is currently doing this automated webinar and making them X amount of money. And they were creating all of this very specifically because somebody else had said it was a good idea. What they hadn't taken a step back to look at was, is it the right thing for their customers? Is it what their audience wants? Through a series of unfortunate events, the business that we were working for at that point in time shut down. We were left in a really tough situation. Both Mike and I, so my husband and I, were in that business at that point in time, so it was 2 incomes lost. But on top of that, the lady who had been working with us in that team, Mel, had also lost her job. So suddenly you had 2 families, 3 people in 2 families who were in a really sticky situation. And I kind of looked to my husband at that point and I went, you know what? We're really good at what we do. We've rocked this part of the business. We've done awesome, and we've been frustrated because we've been wanting to fix these bigger problems that businesses have. This is our time. And so out of necessity, Ninjas was born. We started with our core team straight away. And so we had myself, who did the overarching strategy and campaign design and life cycle design. We had my husband, Mike, who kind of does all of the really techie stuff and all the finance stuff and all the really complicated infusions of bits and bobs, including the reporting. And then we had Mel, our amazing get shit done ninja, who just does all the things and does them till they're done, which is awesome. And since then, we've just built the team that's just grown from strength to strength to strength. We have Lucy on board now as well. Lucy is our creative ninja. She kind of deals with all our creative stuff. We've got Becca, who is our organizational ninja. We call her our OCD ninja. She just kind of makes everything happen, including organizing all of our clients. And then we also have Phil, who is our scribble ninja. He's specifically there to help us create content and help our clients make their content better. We have to uncover new ways of talking to our audiences and talking to our clients, and we have to pioneer those new ways. We want a future where marketing isn't thought of as a yucky profession anymore, where marketing is catered around behavior. Marketing is totally behavioral. We know that we can leave the old ways behind. We can take marketing automation into the future, so long as we put biopsychology with it, as long as we cater to our clients and our customers and talk to them on the level that they want to be spoken to, we can take this into the future. It's not the only way to do marketing. There are going to be loads of different ways that you can go about it. There's always been loads of different ways that you can go about marketing. But we know that biopsychology combined with marketing automation works. And that's what we're taking into the future.